I hope you guys are doing great. Sorry about the dog barking, it's obviously feeding time. I'm a bit hungry myself. Trailer got its warrant. There was 460 kilos of scrap in the last video you saw, the Hilux, so there's about half a tonne with the generator and tools I've gone back as well. The trailer got its warrant, which is good, so today I'm just going to load up with scrap steel, just light gauge stuff, just stuff that I'm tripping over. I'll show you what I'm in the middle of doing just now. So I've got these doors, and a lot of times with these old doors, you get a hammer and you try and break the glass, it won't break. So you go into a car like this Hillman and you look around for an old spark plug. And you get an old spark plug like that, and you find a hard surface like that, but probably a rock is better. There's a rock here. It's quite interesting because you don't need a lot. A chunk like that might actually do it in the trailer with that lot, and I'll show you what I mean with that glass window. Wouldn't break with a hammer, so put that spark plug in there, and sometimes you need to hit it at the right angle. See, like that. Just lining up just now, and it's nearly 6 o'clock at night. It's about 6 or 8 p.m. which is pretty good, but we'll have to add some in the morning. I'm going to have to stop for a break and manage to get this half of a Capri on the trail myself. Just a hassle, just trying to start that old David Brown up the top rock, and this thing's light enough where you can just walk it on. A little bit of a struggle, but life's not meant to be easy. So yeah, I'll show you what I've loaded so far, and I'll catch you back in the morning when I've finished loading up, because there's a few things at the top that I want to chuck on too, and make it worthwhile. Get at least half a tonne on this trailer. The light gauge is very bulky but doesn't weigh a lot, so you can get quite a big stack on a trailer and only weigh say a few hundred kilos, so we'll get that done anyway. I'll chuck a couple of leaf springs in just to build the weight up, because otherwise it's just not worth the effort. Anyway, I'll show you what I've done. So this is the Ford Capri. It's a Mark 1 Capri. I cut the roof off it for a customer who had a sunroof and he wanted a non-sunroof. He didn't want a sunroof, so he asked me to cut the roof off for him so he could paste the roof off this car onto his one. This car had a front end accident, so it was repairable, but it was more valuable in parts. No one was really going to restore it. It was a V4 Mark 1 Capri. But I cut the back end off for a guy that was thinking either about a trailer or a barbecue, but that never happened, and it's just been sat in the yard getting rustier and rustier. It looks like good quarters, but there is some rust developing down in the usual spots, and there's a little bit of bog in there, but I mean, those arches are pretty good, but I've held on to it for that long. There's a bit of rust there actually. You know, the more you start digging, it's like trying to find the person for this, but it's just going straight to scrap. I can't hang on to it. The space that it's taking up is more valuable, but it is a Mark 1 rear end. The bootlet doesn't look too bad. It doesn't open. Yeah, probably a little bit of rust in that there. It's just starting to go there, you see, just bubbling away. So when you try and strip it down, you can see there's a hole there too. Yeah, it's a Mark 1 Capri, 3/4. See, that's a rust. You know, the other side's a lot worse. I know there's vents, you can pull them off, but I think they're I think there's a couple of tags that are broken already off on them. You know what I mean? Because they're not sitting unless you got the tags on the back. Yeah, I won't endeavour on that actually. No, it's not worth the effort, because I mean, if I pull them off, I probably won't get get good money for them anyway. But yeah, I think I'm a bit too cheap on the stuff I sell, but that's the Mark 1 Cortina. No, Capri, sorry. Rear end. So Mark 1 Capri rear end. And Austin A40 front sub from another unit I bought years ago. It's part of the front chassis and a few odds and sods in there. The Hillman Minx bonnet under there. Some Hillman Imp glass frames for around the tailgate. Bit of corrugated iron. But yeah, it's pretty much toast this car anyway, so we'll just send it off to scrap. I'll catch you back in the morning, okay? That's me all loaded up, ready to go. First scrap run of the day. I don't really want to do scrap runs this week, but it's ending up like that. So we've got a GMC cab capping over that Capri back end. I'm going to run this through to the scrap man, and then hopefully come back and grab another load too. Fingers crossed, depends what happens. As you can see, I need a little bit of wind in the tyres too, so I'll get that done while I'm in town. So he's starting the compressor. It's not going to pop on the road, just their car tyres, not really commercial tyres. But I reckon it's about 400 kilos of that there. It's very hard to guess, to gauge light steel. Well, I find it hard to gauge it. The best I can guess is I can guess a lot of the scrap, what things weigh. Like I knew that ute yesterday had about half a tonne in the tray, so when you think 460, that's not a bad guess plus the tools and that. So I'm guessing the same with this. It's probably 400 or 500 kilos of that, you know. But I'll get this load off to the scrap, and then I'll come back and maybe grab some of this heavy stuff that I've piled. I've got piles of little bits of heavy stuff all up and down the yard, and there's probably a tonne there ready to go. I do have to take like the David Brown over there, yeah, you can just see it over there, yeah. I need to take that through. That's probably about 500 to 700 kilos of what's left there, you know, they're only a tonne and a bit. So, and the 39 Chevy bulkhead, that's a 39 Chevy bulkhead and a Vauxhall Volex roof. I haven't scrapped that because I had someone wanting the Vauxhall part, but the Chevy bulkhead with the roof panel, I feel someone can make a really nice bookcase or turn something into a rat rod or something like that. So anyway, I'll get this load. I'm just rambling, so I'll get this load off to scrap. Quite a nice big load. It's not going anywhere, there's a few strops there, so nice and tidy, and yeah, nice load of scrap. Old David Brown forklift behind me, getting ready to scrap the other David Brown forklift. That was the parts one. As you can see, there's a motor there in unknown condition. It does have a dynamo and a dizzy. I mean, I could pull bits out of that and all the rest of it, but I mean, I got it for free, this tractor, and I got it because I had other parts, so it was actually quite a good deal, and I could start pulling carbs and stuff off it and all that stuff of parts. But I've got another 3 here, so I thought, well, I'll just get rid of this one anyway, create some space. As you can see, that's where it was sitting, next to another Fiat 500 and a Morris Oxford. So that space now that it's sitting in, I can park an old Austin or something like that in it. But yeah, this is the David Brown tractor. Towing another David Brown tractor. I'll take the wheels off for scrap, but there's at least a tonne there anyway. Hard to really tell. I really do think it's only half a tonne, but this thing can lift a tonne. But it's struggling a wee bit. Let's take the wheels off, but yeah, there's a wee bit of weight there anyway, so it's worth scrapping. I could take some copper off it and stuff like that, but it's just better just to send it as it is, and I'll give you a better price for it anyway. Ideally, you want to break them down in the centre casings up in here, take all that off and split them in half, and then you get in size. But I think I'll take it as it is, and they might be a bit generous, especially with the other stuff that's going with there. save me breaking it up anymore. Anyway, right, that's that tractor. Once this one's moved, we'll go and pick up another one that could probably fill that space anyway. So here we go, we got another tractor that we're just picking up. It's an old Farmall, a Super A. It's basically come out of that little shed there. It's been in the same family from new, and believe it or not, I've just sold it. So it's a real quick turnaround, which is really cool. I think the guy just wants it for parts. It's quite amazing how many of these old tractors I'm picking up this year. But yeah, I hope you guys are watching, are enjoying these videos, and I'll catch you back in the next one. Thanks guys.